My first character, he was a druid and really bad at combat, only character that consistently went unconscious, and in the first or second session, I recall this very explicitly, I casted Flame Blade. You invoke a fiery blade in your hand, it lasts by concentration up to 10 minutes, and deals 3d6 fire damage on a melee attack. If upcast, every 2 slots will get you 1d6 more damage. Let me let you in on something. Do not cast Flame Blade. Druids in 5e have a lot of concentration spells. This was intentional, and if you stand back and hold your concentration, one spell will generally last a combat, which makes them pretty good over longer dungeons compared to, say, wizards who'll blow through stuff. That's also why wizards can recharge spells on a short rest, but druids can't. This is unless you go land druid and they're like specialist casters. The thing is, if you use your concentration on this, is an opportunity cost for how you could have used your concentration on anything else. It's a 2nd level spell slot, which isn't too bad, but it doesn't deal that much damage. Let me walk you through it for perspective. Your 3rd level, when you get access to this spell, let's assume you have a 16 wisdom, meaning you have a +5 to hit. I'd go deeper, but let's just make a comparison to another spell, Shillelagh. Not the fancy Irish stick that's surprisingly hard to research, but the cantrip. For this, as a component, you need a club or quarterstaff. As a bonus action, same as Flame Blade, you enchant the club so that now it uses your spellcasting modifier, Wisdom, instead of Strength, meaning it has equivalent to hit and does, I believe, 1d8 plus 3 damage. And while not optimal, if you don't know how to spend your bonus action and you use a club, you can bring a 2nd club and dual wield. So let's compare damage for a moment. 3d6 will average 10 fire damage, which is relatively often resisted, but sometimes has vulnerability. And Shillelagh offers at 3rd level 1d8 plus 3, that's 7 damage, increasing with your wisdom, and it can be as high as an average of 9 damage, which is only 1 point down, with a higher floor, because at that point you're getting +3 to the start, +5 to the start. Flame Blade will always have the minimum of 3 damage, unless you're upcasting. But perhaps most importantly, Shillelagh doesn't use your concentration. Let me remind those of you who forgot how concentration works. If you take damage, you have to make a saving throw. Some spells work with this mechanic better. For example, Call Lightning, which is 3rd level, lets you stand back while it's active to avoid being hit. But Flame Blade needs you to walk into melee range so you can use it. And then, once I'm in melee range and my opponent's there, bonk! And let's see if you keep your concentration. Probably not, depending on your level. And even if you do, it might disappear next turn, while Shillelagh will be good always. As a result, Flame Blade is a really crappy combat spell. But let's homebrew a quick fix. What do you want to do? Well, it's quite simple. Let me cast Flame Blade on the fighter and let him add strength to the damage. Now our friend, who might have multi-attack at a certain point, gets to increase his damage output. It uses my concentration, so it still costs something, and the fighter feels cool along with I feel cool. And while we're at it, can I point you to this other video I made?